Hi class, welcome to our lesson, our first lesson for, no, this is the second lesson. The first one is the physical and sexual self. So please watch if you haven't yet watched it. So what we will be discussing for today, for the second lesson of unpacking the self. So before anything else, before that, I want you to listen to this music and tell me if you have an idea of what we're going to talk about today. Alright, so, unsa man ang sigig balik-balik ani sa kanta ni Madonna? Okay, do you have any idea what we are going to talk about today? If wala, usar gud iya sigig balik-balik because we are living in a material world. Okay, so how is this connected to our lesson today? Some of my students, when I ask this one, okay, what do you think of this song? What does she keeps on repeating? And then they overanalyze. They would say, no, miss ko, ano siya, gold digger na si Madonna, ila yung analyze a music video. But really, class, I was just looking into I was looking at smooth transitions to our topic today, okay? So, we actually live in a world where there is a lot of, getting the things that we want is very easy. No, we have these delivery systems on hand already. We have Lazada, we have Lalamove, we have Shopee, and etc. No, so it's just so easy for us to buy these things. But actually, buying material things are not just out of for the sake of buying. According to Bell Glasnost, he stated that we regard our possessions as part of ourselves. We are what we have and what we possess. So we buy things not plainly because we want to buy them for the sake of having them. Kontra na lang sa uban, no? In using that as therapy, no? Retail therapy is my new addiction, sabi ni Ariana. No, but when you buy things, no, it's actually part of our self-expression and it's part of our self-identity. That's what Bell posits, now the back states. Okay? So, the clothes you wear, your necklaces, say for example this one, diba? Did you notice there was a point where there was that tala ba? Tala necklace. So there was a point where this kind of collection is so famous. So these are the zodiac collection. So it is famous because people relate to these things. Now, it feels to them that the material has given them a way of expressing themselves and sort of kumbaga carving themselves and putting themselves into the world. So the clothes that we wear is a self-expression, is our self-identity. The things around us is also part of our self-expression and self-identity. Okay, so I want you to take a look around you. So say sa inyong room and let me know what are your material things. So for example, for me, I'll choose the nearest object sa ako adiri is this one. So what is this one? Letter A. Is this an alcohol? Letter B. Is this a muriatic acid? Letter C. Is this water? Correct answer is muriatic acid. So, ako ni siya in-non-charge ako. So, class, this is not alcohol, this is not muriatic acid, but this is water. Miss, why do you have water near your place? Ako na kung uhawon ko. So, joker yun kahapon class no. So, actually, ako nag-spray ako na, anaon ako. Sprayhan ako now. In case boringan na kayo ko sa mga report ng estudyante, yakatugon ko. Di bitaw class, seryoso na ako. Okay. So this is water. So this is water. What do I use water for? Actually, part of my hobby is painting. And I'm quite good. So pagbigyan na lang no, tanggalan na ang quite. So I'm good at watercolor. So that's the thing that I'm really more invested in other than the rest of the art mediums. So it's near here so that whenever I want to paint, I can just directly grab it and reactivate my watercolors if I want to paint. So painting is part of my self-expression. And this one right here expresses my activities day to day and what I like to do. Okay? So, unsa man ang inyong naa dinha, okay? Naa ba mo'y kuan? Naa ba mo'y guitar? Okay? So, we probably play music. Do you have a cactus in your desk? Or do you have what do you call this? Do you have a cage na inyong bird na pet? So you're probably an animal lover. So as you can see, the materials that you're surrounded with is also part of your self-identity and your self-expression. Okay? So my dear students, we will be talking about the material self today. So, what is the material self? According to James Class, the material self can be composed of this one, the constituents, the self-feelings, self-seeking, and self-preservations. Okay, so unsa man na siya ang constituents, no? Kaning constituents. Self-feelings, understandable. Emotions is feelings that are aroused once we're looking into or having that feel in our bodies, no? The material things. And self-seeking and self-preservations out from that emotion or feeling what are corresponding action, because of course um, emotion is like the catalyst for action, so we move because we feel, and contrary to popular belief, no, but that's another story. I'm already rambling, but actually emotion class is a good has a good part in us doing something. Okay. um Constituents are composed of, according to this theory, the material self, the social self, the spiritual self, and the pure ego. Pure ego has a lot of alternative concepts, now depending on what theory it belongs to. So we have, if you remember the anthropological perspective, we have the concept of the person and moi. No, ang person is like the social personal or social identity we adapt from day to day in order to survive. And we have our authentic self, the one nobody knows, nobody that kanang kita ra ang kita. Okay, so we also have alternative concepts of that, or different concepts sa kang Carl Rogers and kang Donald Winnicott, if you remember, no? The spiritual self will be discussed in the next lesson. The social self, you're very familiar with that, I hope. And we are left with this one, the material self. So, unsa din ang material self? According to James, the material self is about our bodies, first and foremost, our clothes, our immediate family, and our home. Class, of course, you will not exist in this plane, in this world, if you don't have body. Our body is our vessel to be able to interact with the world. And some even go as far as, of course, it's part, according to James, no, of our material self. Um, our clothes is also part of our material self class. According not to Lotse in his book Microcosmos, anytime we bring an object into the surface of our body, so anytime our clothes touch our body, we invest that object into the consciousness of our own personal existence, taking in its contours to be our own and making it part of the self. So if you feel your clothes touch you, if it's comfortable, then you instantly feel, if you get that feeling, you take the essence of that object, you take it into your own self, and then out from that you feel something because you're wearing that object. Okay, so in another word or another example to make this nosebleed kaayo na statement understandable, say for example, class, once you wear a good cloth, di ba, na may uban na tungod sa kakulba nila, mag-prepare kaayo sila sa interview, mangitag sila nindot na suoton, so that the factor or the clothes that they wear in would factor into their confidence, di ba? Kung when you go out and you go into a date, no, mag-date mo, di ba, you wear your best clothes, you bring your best self, okay? So that is what this phrase or sentence actually mean, that once we feel the clothes on us, there's a corresponding feeling that it brings, and out from this corresponding feeling we have a reaction onto it, and we bring it into ourselves, so we suddenly feel confident. And then the more that we wear the clothes that makes it feel confident, the more that becomes part of our self-expression. Okay, so some people makita ni mo na ay mga emo na get up, no, it's because maybe their that kind of clothing or that kind of style, it helps them express themselves better. Okay, helps them have more grounds sa ilahang identity. So may pagkaiga na ang concept, no, about the clothes. So as you can see here, different fashion for different personalities. Oh, okay, di na pag term. I did not say that if that's your personality mo, na forever imuhang fashion. What I meant is, the clothes that you wear, the style that you're trying to portray will reflect how you interact, how you show yourself sa world and how you interact with the world. So, say for example, if your job is very practical, you wouldn't wear clothes that are so hard to bring or so hard to put together. Example, kani, no? So of course you wear something very practical and very easy to find. Probably kani, no? Just jeans and maybe semi-formal t-shirts. Or if you're someone na um, works in a fashion industry, of course you would not wear something practical. What will that say about you if you're working in a fashion industry and you're not very fashionable, right? Did you watch The Devil Wears Prada? Okay, so you can see there that Anne Hathaway actually changed his clothing style because she's working in a fashion industry. So part of our jobs or our jobs also reflect how we wear our clothes. Okay, so again, no, if you're very comfortable, if you're also a minimalist type of person, or you're trying to be to adapt the concept of minimalism, you probably have all black clothes. Okay, kamo man ni concept sa minimalism class na deciding on what to wear um actually kanang pangpangon bitaw ang autong energy reserve for thinking. So that plainly deciding what to wear. So they actually have the same clothes all throughout their wardrobe para mawagtang na ma-eliminate kakapoy, no, and deciding what to wear. But yeah, that's it. So if you're a student, you probably have this kind of get up no something comfortable so that dili mo mangatol while nag-discuss ang teacher. Okay? So that's it. Now, ang third component sa material self is the immediate family. Our parents and siblings have a huge part in our definition of our selfhood. Okay? What happens to them affects us. So, for example, na-terminate imong parents, no? Illegally. So, naalay gahong-hong na nangawat daw sila og kanang mga bond paper ang sa panadagi pangdala sa balay, no? And it isn't true because you know that your parents are very honorable people, and then na-terminate sila, no? Illegally terminate. Of course, that will affect you. If your sister passed the board exam and everyone's happy and so you're happy, so your immediate family class will directly affect you. Next is your home, no? The nest of our selfhood. Our experiences in our home are recorded and marked on particular parts of things in our home. Um, what is my examples of that one man? Nita ko diri. Probably. Okay, so because I cannot show you, I'll just describe it to you, ha. So our experiences in our home are recorded and marked on particular parts and things in our home. There's a part here in our bedroom na naay splash, nice stains, no, nice splash. Meron siyang dugo, no, splash of dugo. And um, once I see that, okay, once I see that, I recall something that's happening there. Nakagi-murder, miss? Wala ko gi-murder. So, this stain right here is actually the stain because of the medicine. Because we have dogs in the house and our dogs got sick one time. Then we need to feed him the medicine. Kaya di man, of course, most of the dogs doesn't like their medicine, no? So, we went to the vet, asked for the medicine, and then pag pag ano na mo no pag we use syringe, so pagbutang na mo sa medicine can splash siya, okay, and that brings back like a sad bittersweet memory for me because that's our dog was been with us for about 10 years, and then unfortunately he did not survive, but it also is kind of peaceful because finally he got his rest. Okay, just a little backstory class, not to keep you up from your boredom. 2 years ago, napaaka na mo iro, and then we really saw him have a last breath, like that, and he stopped in breathing. And then I was there, my sister was there, and then nanghilak me and nag-beg me niya na please, ayaw saghawa, please. And then niginhawa siya balik. And come 2022, we felt like it's finally his time na to rest. So it's bittersweet for me seeing this stain sa corner sa ako room. Okay, so murag igana po. No, our home, a certain part of it, you can really actually see that at a certain time, there was you at that kind of age experiencing that kind of moment. Okay? So that's it. So the possessions that we dearly have tell something about our past. Oops, sorry. Let me go back. Okay. Okay, so the possessions that we dearly have tell something about who we are, our past, and even our future. So, mura na to akong example na rin. It tells me something about the past, okay? And unsa na ko karon and what I want to be probably in the future. So, there are certain things na kita ninyo sa inyong hambalay na naadyo na story na ma-reflect ninyo back into yourself and probably will explain how you came out to be right now. So, I have here a video which I also got from YouTube. So I will just link it below and you can watch it. Bottom line is this video actually talks about the endowment effect, no, and how certain tribes, because they share things, it's in their culture that they share things. They don't really have this effect, okay, na na-experience sa uban, which means that again there is still, or the culture still plays a huge part in how we deal with our material objects. Okay, so kani siya ang example class, no? There is an experiment, gipapili sila kung ganan sila mug or chocolate. When they did, they actually want what they chose, and if giask sila na to barter, they wouldn't barter because there is already brag naka-create na sila connection sa kana na object. Okay? So, that's it. That's this video is about. It's very helpful, class. Just 4 minutes and you will learn a lot. So, I encourage you to watch this video. Okay. And that's it. It's very short, of course. Understandable ramang concept, diba, class? Yeah, if you have questions, just tell me. You can comment it. And you can privately message me if you don't want to comment. There will be an activity coupled with this one, so make sure you answer it. So that's it, class. Thank you for listening, and as always, have fun in learning.